Back to Brian's Beat.
Hour two of Brian's Beat. I completely forgot. I was watching YouTube the other night during dinner with woman friend, and I completely forgot that back in the mid-1960s, there was a Beatles cartoon on TV. I believe ABC carried it, and there was a special, documentary on the cartoon, and it lasted about 20, 25 minutes, and we watched it, and it was so-so, but it made me think, hey, here's one that I haven't played. I felt good playing it. Hour two of Brian's Beat, the only show born at the apex of freedom, entrepreneurship, and nomadism. The Brian's Beat quote of the day from Mary Tyler Moore: "Take chances, make mistakes. That's how you grow. Pain nourishes your courage. You have to fail in order to practice being brave." Mary Tyler Moore, she was really young when she broke in doing the Dick Van Dyke Show. But when she got her Mary Tyler Moore show, she was very accomplished at that particular time. Then she went on to have her own production studio. Take chances, make mistakes. That's how you grow. Pain nourishes your courage. You have to fail in order to practice being brave. And that is our quote of the day. ABC News did a lot of talking about Donald Trump and his cabinet selections. I've watched bits and pieces. I thought this would happen, that Matt Gaetz would withdraw his name. And so now, here we go again with the devil you don't know, who is going to be the person, and she'll probably be selected, Attorney General Bondi. But there was an article in the New York Times that came out, I'm going to say midweek, by Anna Swanson. Trump's agenda on tariffs. President-elect Donald Trump calls tariffs, and here's the quote, "the most beautiful word in the dictionary." I've heard him say something similar. I would not have written it the way that she has it as a quote, but I'm going to take it at face value that at one particular time, Donald Trump did say, in quote, "the most beautiful word in the dictionary," talking about tariffs. Of course, he's been talking about tariffs during the campaign trail and putting more on. I didn't mean to say moron, but more tariffs on. Here's how it works. Tariffs are charged on foreign products when they're brought across the border. By making foreign goods more expensive, tariffs encourage Americans to buy products from U.S. factories instead. Now, I have a slight variation on how Anna Swanson writes it. That product is manufactured, let's say China, for the sake of conversation, at a Chinese factory. Somebody is buying that product and is going to take care of shipping it to the United States. When that person buys that product, they are paying the Chinese whatever the price is for that product. When that product comes into the United States, let's say for the sake of conversation, we're talking Target or TJ Maxx or Walmart. Okay, doesn't matter. One of those three. They're going to pay that tariff again. I say again, they're going to pay that tariff and then bring the product in. Then the product gets distributed by train or maybe ship again and truck to wherever the store is, and then it's for sale retail-wise. Now, I want to break this down just in case, A, you didn't know, but here's the thought process from President Trump. And this isn't anything new as far as his process. You make these foreign goods more expensive. You are now tempted to go out and buy products made in the USA. Trump's figuring is this is going to spur on manufacturing, create new jobs, lower the trade deficits. It's all dependent on you. So, in other words, are you willing to pay more? Now, folks have been complaining. So my guess is, and this is a humble guess, my guess is you don't want to pay more. If you did, you wouldn't be shopping at Walmart and Target, which is a step up from Walmart, but in that same category. So the tariffs really didn't work before because people still bought foreign goods. More to the point, U.S. manufacturers didn't beef up enough that they were selling in such large quantities as to make manufacturers want to stay here and make it in the USA. Do you think it's going to change this time around? You've got to be that particular change. I don't want any president trying to strong-arm me into buying something that I might consider inferior or something that I just don't want. I'm not trying to say that the Chinese make the best thing in the world, but I might want that product. I might want it from India. I might want it from Russia. And if you're going to slap a tariff on it, I might end up paying the extra money for that product if I really want that product. I don't think I'm the type of person that is going to say, well, gee, you know what? I should see what's being made in the USA. I used to think that way when I bought a Ford or a GM product. Didn't really buy Chrysler. But even their parts are made outside the country. So you don't know what's made in the USA or not. You can read a label, and it might say made in the USA, but it doesn't really mean it was made in the USA. 508-996-0500 to get onto the program. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, Brian.
Look, there's a gun buyback thing going on today. Can you tell me where that is?
Can you tell me where it is?
I know it's on Purchase Street, but I don't know the name of the chapel or the church.
What, is it in downtown? Is it at the...
It's on Purchase Street.
Purchase and School?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I know there's a church at Purchase and School. That's why I'm saying that.
Oh, okay. Sorry I interrupted your conversation.
Oh, well, I'm sorry you interrupted it too. But that's okay. I do appreciate it. And, last week I had notes about that gun buyback. And I was good. That wasn't gun buyback, was it?
Yeah, yes, it was.
And
Okay,
you're getting food, guns for food.
Yes.
Yes. I do remember reading about it. Good luck. Let me know.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. If you got an extra gun you don't want to keep under the roof, I'm guessing if it's the church on Purchase, it's the one like the Pilgrim. Don't quote me on that. At any rate, getting back to tariffs. If you're the type that is, and you don't have to be a Trumper, you don't have to be MAGA, but you may not like the trade deficit, the trade imbalance that we have with certain countries, in particular China. And you might be sitting there saying, yeah, tariffs, because we're going to charge China more for the products. And so the Chinese don't even feel it. They don't feel it. It's that middle man that is doing the buying from the Chinese, who eventually will have to pay to bring the slugs, the skateboard backs and the doohickeys, whatever it is that's coming in. It's that middleman who is going to end up paying that tariff. Of course, the middleman is passing that tariff price on to whomever he is or she is turning around and selling whatever product to. That's the way it works. Eventually, that product gets to Target, gets to TJ Maxx, gets to BJ's, gets to Walmart, where you have the opportunity to purchase it. And you probably don't even know if there's a tariff that's been placed on products. That stuff just happens. You might notice that the price is higher than the time before, but you're not really scratching your head trying to figure it out. Well, now you know. Now it's out there for you. So the question is, are you going to now make sure you buy made in the USA? You're still going to end up paying about the same amount of money. It's not like you're going to get made in the USA for less than you're going to get the Chinese product. But at least you've got that type of an option. Are you going to help spur on the U.S. economy by paying more to buy made in the USA? 508-996-0500. Hello.
Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, Brian.
I'll let you get away with it because I was going to say he's not going to do it this time to me, but I'll let you get away with it.
I would never do it to you without permission.
Oh, I love it. Okay. Thank you. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday to you.
So I don't know. Because you've been kind of all over the place this morning with your conversations. So with the trucks, the trucks, money, this and that, any trucks, the mayor's already ordered trucks. Municipality trucks are already here. And they are EV. And this is why they are making all the EV stations where it was Park and Go, where the DECO bus would come. That is now all done. They put the EV stations in there, and they're tall enough so that the big municipality trucks can get in there. So in the winter, only half the people, not even, just the outskirt of the whole parking lot itself will have, 4 cars because other than that, yeah, they need their trucks there being charged. And they're doing it on, as far as I know, it's Charlotte and, what's that road? Nauset? Down by the airport?
Mount Pleasant, Nauset,
Nauset and Charlotte Ave. Down that way. If you go down Charlotte Ave, right, where the McDonald's, where you come to the lights, where the McDonald's and
I know where you're talking.
So you make that right, head like you're going towards the airport, and there's I think 2 acres. I don't know. Honestly, I'm bad at math when it comes to like that. But they are building now a big huge thing. It's all going to be EV stations for the municipality trucks, because the mayor has already done this, and he's already ordered school buses. Only 2, as far as I know. I don't know if he's gone beyond the first 2 of the school buses, but the municipality trucks are going to be EV generated, and that money all came from the windmill. A lot of, everything that he gets, it gets $10 million. There's no tax, payers don't have to worry about this, because the windmill took care of all of this. And the more we get from the windmills, the more money he'll get. And that's why, downtown, the Quest building, that's nothing to do with ARPA funds. That's got nothing to do with nothing. The mayor isn't taking anything away from anybody, and he's not asking the taxpayers to pay anything, because that's already been done with what's going on. So I think a lot of people need to just take a sigh of relief and just kind of stand back for a minute and realize that a lot of this money is coming from the windmill itself. Now,
which money exactly are you talking about? Because the mayor, I'm going to say the administration, because I don't see anything that says the mayor did any requesting in front of the finance committee. But his people are out looking for about $4.5 million, and the finance committee rejected.
Wait,
10 or 11
million dollars. Is it really $4.5 million?
It's about $4.5 million, according to the paper. I wasn't at the meeting.
Okay. Well, that's just city politics. That's just.
Well, I'm applauding. I'm applauding the counselors in this particular case for just saying no.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Applaud. Yay. But no, that's $4.5 million. And the mayor will not be in this week with Chris McCarthy, because he's going to D.C. So I'm sure whatever he's going to be in Washington for next week is probably going to do with more funding. And Moore Haley just approved funding for our city. So that's another thing maybe you can look into. But New Bedford, she just approved a bunch of money for New Bedford to get quite a few things. So that might be why the city council said no, and Moore Haley came through with, okay, you're going to have it. So that's just a few things. I just wanted to put the feelers out there. And
you wanted to put the feelers out there. So the money's going to come in, and the city council is going to miraculously change their mind and say, oh, Mr. Mayor, now that we have this extra money, sure, you can go on and make sure the auditor and the solicitor's office and all these other little dillies get their money.
You can, I'm not, listen, I am not, what can I say? How can I say this?
I don't know.
I'm not for everything that's happening around here. I cannot stand it. I hate the wind turbines. I hate the whole thing. And the blades that we had to be shipped way back out, I think, to Dutchland or something, because they weren't done right in Canada, the control. I mean, there's so much to this, and I understand everybody's observation. And I'm there. I'm with everybody questioning on it. And I don't like the whole idea of the EV project. The electrical vehicles is crazy, right? But it's here, and we got to accept it, because this This is how the mayor's rolling, and this is how the city's rolling, and so be it.
Well, I guess. I mean, it sounds swampish to me.
Well, oh,
it does. I mean, it does, and it always has.
Well,
and it's not just New Bedford. I don't want to, pin the tail on the taxpayer on the city of New Bedford.
It's every Democratic. Well, first of all, how many towns? We're not a town. We're a city. A city where you have a city council and a mayor. You don't have that in Plymouth because it's a town. You've got your city councilors running. You just keep going out to every county, How many cities are there really? And the cities themselves is the ones that the mayors are making decisions with, and almost all of them. I sort of found out that it's all Democratic. And so what he's doing, he's getting funding, and he's getting all of this and that. And like I said, Maura Healey just approved money for us. I wish I could actually remember the amount she just approved for us, but she approved money, so... And what's going to happen with the electrical vehicles has already happened, and I've seen the municipality trucks. I see what those stations look like.
Okay, I don't remember any of that being what the
nobody asked us. In other words.
Well, it wasn't unless that's part of fleet maintenance, which I don't. I'm off the cuff guessing that it's not a part of that. I don't see anything dealing with what you have just mentioned there for the reasons that the administration was asking for the money.
Well, there's other things. You just can't take money from something. You still got to have the city council approve certain things. But
I understand that, and the city council said no. But what I'm trying to say is that the reasons or the departments that they requested money for doesn't seem to be anything that you've been talking about.
Right, exactly. So exactly what I was. So what?
Yes.
So what was put in front of the city council is just your normal city. Can we have, because there's no way the mayor, all the money and everything that we do have, and what more really just approved for us, it's a whole different thing.
So why are we even bringing that into the conversation?
Well, I just wanted to.
Government is confusing enough. Why twist it? Why twist it like a pretzel?
We don't have to, because it is what it is. That's all.
Okay.
Because it is what it is.
It is what it is.
There is money being funded. As far as the sectarian there, that's $37 million. Oh, I think that's what she just helped with. Yeah, Maura Healey.
You know what? I'm glad that she opened up her pocketbook. Thank you for your call. I'm glad that she opened up her pocketbook to give $37 million for the Z. That $37 million for the Z is not going to take care of one damn pothole on Purchase Street. Yeah, I'm looking over Frank Mulligan's article in the Standard Times. Came out, I believe, in Thursday's paper. The chief financial officer sent a letter to Mayor Mitchell saying that he expected little free cash this year compared to other years, didn't anticipate surpluses being available in some departments to cover shortfalls in others. He added, this is the chief financial officer adding in the letter, that 93% of the funds the administration wanted to restore were associated with contractual or legal obligations and are not discretionary needs. Well, when these departments were spending money, did they think that, well, we'll go back to the table and get this money so we can take care of some of these other obligations? Or did they think, well, we might not get any more money and we have to be frugal here. We may just have to go without. The Finance Committee of the City Council, they've decided that they're going to make the decision not to fund any more money, not to tax the people of New Bedford. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm calling in reference to the last caller.
Please.
And her saying that basically that the money for the budget, if it was approved, is going to come back to us through the windmill. No, it is not. No, it is absolutely is not. The naivety of people in this city drives me crazy, Brian. This is a game. You're being played. You're being played as a taxpayer. This is what the mayor does. This mayor in particular has created so many bloated positions with $200,000 salaries. How could you possibly think that we're going to get it back? Has New Bedford ever gotten much back? No. No. You know what? I am proud of the city council. I hope they stick to their guns, and Mayor Mitchell needs to go. He has money to go to Israel and mind their business. He has money to go everywhere else but this city, and we're paying for that. Are we going to get a return on that investment? No. Please, people, wake the hell up and see you're being screwed by city and state and federal government. Wake up. Thank you.
Thank you, and happy Thanksgiving. 508-996-0500. I get it. I've been saying this kind of stuff for numerous years. But, I mean, she hit it. She hit it. I'm not going to get into whether people are really trying to screw you over or not. But the net result is the same. The net result is the same. And it's about time. I've been praising the Finance Committee, those that voted. There were 10 votes, and I think there are 11 people on the council. So, but I've been praising the fact that they made, I shouldn't call it a courageous move. It's just the proper move to make. But now that I can take the praiseology hat off, I have to come back and say, why'd it take so long? Because other years, I don't know, maybe other years there was deemed to be extra money to do it. I don't know. But I have always been of the opinion, if there is extra money, give it back to the taxpayers. Give it back to us. I'm not an us in this particular case, but I say that about the town of Dartmouth. And true to what that last caller stated, in all the years that I've lived in Dartmouth, there have been many times that we didn't vote in a Prop 2.5 override, but I don't ever recall getting a rebate on my tax bill. 508-996-0500. So there are two sides to the fence here. Maybe if you work for one of these departments in the city of New Bedford, you see the need for the money, but explain it to us. Tell us what the hell happened. Obviously, you didn't get all the money requested originally in the budget because there wasn't enough. City Council had to make some cuts. They made their cuts. So why are you going to tell me you need the money? Are you going to tell me, well, the state mandates that we have health insurance, that we have all these different plans, and they need to be paid for? Well, if that's the case, and if that's what you want to put your hat down on, then the money that went into your department originally, that money should have first paid for those things that are known as these mandates, these obligations. And then whatever else can be spread out. So you don't have to come back in the middle of November skinning your knees, asking for more money, or having the CFO of the city asking for more money. And I applaud, heavily applaud, those city councilors that voted not to fund that money. If you disagree with that, give me a reason. I'll gladly listen to you. The other thing that I was talking about was President Trump. He has been talking about tariffs. The quote, the most beautiful word in the dictionary. Now, that's Donald Trump, okay? I'm sure when he's talking with his family, he's not saying, tariffs are the most beautiful word in the dictionary. I don't know what word he would say it is, but my guess is he's probably not talking to Don Jr. or the little kid who's not so little anymore. Say, hey, tariffs are the most beautiful word in the dictionary. But, Dad, if it's the most beautiful word in the dictionary, how come we're going to have our products cost more money? Well, son, you see, it's like this. When the prices of these foreign goods go up, that will put us on par with American factories here. So you're going to now be tempted to buy American goods. I don't think it's going to work like that. That's me. I don't think it's going to work like that. I think that people look at a product and they say, oh, all right, it might be made in China. You might not even know where it's made. But that's the product that you want. That's the product you're going to buy. 508-996-0500. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm not trying to justify these increases that the finance officer is asking for from the city council. I'm a resident of Dartmouth, and I know that I don't want my property tax going up because I'm retired, I'm elderly, and God knows I got enough to just keep a roof over my head here with the increases in homeowners insurance and everything else. But a lot of this can be blamed on inflation, which affects everybody. And I've been watching the news about the Washington Bridge there in Providence, and the humongous amount of money that the contractors are asking for. They've already dropped, I think, a couple of contracts because of the expense that inflation, they need to buy all these construction items. And I know you just go to the Home Depot and see what the heck, just small construction items cost. It's pretty damn expensive. And I do understand that there's also COLAs involved with all these employees, cost of living increases, and it's a problem. I mean, inflation affects everybody, and it's going to affect city government. I mean, and I'm not trying to justify what they're doing. Believe me, because I don't want a property
You're
tax
feeling the pain.
Yeah. I mean, everybody feels the pain of inflation, no question about it. That's why Donald Trump got elected. I'm not a big Donald Trump guy, but that cost the Democrats. I think that, more than anything, cost the Democrats the election. If Donald Trump doesn't straighten it out, he's going to lose a lot of his followers. And believe me, I don't think he can straighten out inflation because this is a worldwide problem. It's not just here. It's going to take something other than a politician to straighten it out. It's going to take businessmen to straighten it out.
Well, he's a businessman.
Yeah, he's a businessman, but he's also a politician.
He is now.
Yeah, and these people who say he's not a politician, well, come on, he's a politician now.
The same people that are saying he's not a politician are the same ones. He learned his lesson from the last time. Whoa, okay. Yeah. So that makes him a politician.
He's learned how to play the game.
He did.
He's probably one of the most aggressive politicians I've ever seen because he makes a lot of promises, which they all do, and some of the promises that he's making are beyond reason. I just don't see it happening. Like he's going to deport 3 million people? 11. Yeah, I don't see. Do you see that happening?
No. I
don't think it's feasible.
You know what? I hear it. Let me put a little cap onto that. As if you stay within the frameworks of the Constitution and the laws that are on the books, I do not see it happening. If you start breaking laws, well, yeah, I could see that you possibly can kick out 11 million, and it might not all be illegals.
Yeah, I just, I don't, to me, it's just too enormous an undertaking. It's going to be extremely expensive, and I think you're going to be violating people's rights.
Yep.
Basic human rights. I mean, you can't be marching into schools. ICE can't be marching into schools and pulling the children of illegal aliens out of the schools and marching them off in handcuffs and all of this stuff. I mean, do you really think this is the kind of thing you want to see happening?
You know what worries me? What worries me is that there are people, maybe even folks listening to this conversation right now, that have no problem with ICE doing exactly what you just said.
Yeah, well, I have a problem with it, and I'll tell you why. Is because when you start taking basic human rights away from anybody in this country, and I know these people, they're undocumented, they probably shouldn't be here, but it's a short step to start infringing on the rights of American citizens when you start ignoring the Constitution.
Yep. It's not a short. I think it's a huge step. Thank you for your call.
Okay.
I do appreciate it. 508-996-0500. Didn't think we were going to really take it down that particular way. But, sometimes you do cross like that. We talked about Dartmouth, which got into the tariffs. Both are out there on the table for you today. But speaking on the tariffs, I kind of judge things when I'm sitting here at the microphone, that is, on what you are going to say about a particular issue. Now, there are a lot of folks, because I've heard you, whether it's been on Chris' show or Barry's show, not necessarily on Tim's, and with Ken, praising the idea of tariffs. But I don't ever hear you say that you are willing to pay that much more for a given product that you're ready to buy made in the USA. And that's what it's really going to take. I've told this story before, and I'm going to tell it again. I'll keep it as brief as possible. I worked for an African-American talk radio network. In fact, I helped to break it in when it opened in 2001. Sometime around 2003, on the Monday show, I would do a thing called Buy Black Mondays. Because African Americans, at least at that particular time, we were 1/7 of the economy. There are 7 days in a week. So on Mondays, I would buy from black companies. Made sense, But I was also doing the radio show. Only one other person, one listener, attempted on Mondays to buy solely black. I gave an exemption if you had to get gasoline, because there aren't too many black gas stations. Certainly you don't find black owners running ExxonMobil or Sinclair. I would give, because especially when you're on Sirius XM, you've got people that are driving around. At that time, most of the people were in vehicles. But the amazing thing is, I try to. I like what you're doing. So I'm building on what I'm telling you, what these other Americans have or have not done. And so it's not that Donald Trump doesn't have a halfway decent idea, but it's forcing you, it's twisting your arm to pay more money to buy a good when you didn't have to. And you can say, well, the Chinese have less expensive labor. Well, yeah, they do. That's why people are buying something that is inexpensive. They're not necessarily thinking about the kid who's walking around barefoot making the good or the service. Just like you don't think about every little thing that goes into any product or any food that you're eating. Maybe you should. Maybe you wouldn't eat it then. I don't know. But there is a human element to all of this. And the human element says, yeah, it's a good idea, but I'll let everybody else do it. Net result? Well, look at when Donald Trump threw the tariffs down on China and Russia in his first term. Remember how that worked out? If you're the Chinese in particular, and the Russians have figured this out, and the BRICS countries are figuring this out very well, United States can now throw all the tariffs they want on them because these guys, when I say these guys, these nations have figured out, well, if you don't want to play, we won't play ball with you. We'll play ball with ourselves. So you can charge more. We can sell our goods in Vietnam. Vietnam can sell them to China. They don't have to play with us anymore. They don't have to use the U.S. dollar anymore. And that's going to make it tougher for the yous and me's. Hello.
Hey, Brian, good morning.
Good morning.
And have a happy Thanksgiving and your listeners.
Thank you.
You know, in the early 1900s, our tariffs paid for most of the government, the operating of our federal government. And now in the 21st century, the United States, and you'll agree with me on this, Brian, the United States has been sold out since, I would even say, the late 1960s to Taiwan and China, and not to mention our national debt that's ballooned so big. That's why people are feeling it when you go to the supermarket and everything in the place of materials and service going up because the dollar is quickly becoming worthless. And the investors are looking at the political situation and they're looking at our national debt. I don't see any compunction for them to cut back on spending. So foreign investors are going to say, I'm pulling out of the U.S. dollar and I'm going to, like you said, the BRIC nations are going to invest in the BRIC nations. And for a long time, since World War II, the dollar's been the world reserve trade currency. And when that gets wiped out, you think inflation is bad now? It's going to be hyperinflation.
I got you, man. And you live in New Bedford, don't you?
People don't smart up. They think, like Jenny Yellen, inflation's transitory. That's baloney. Both the Democrats and the Republicans have sold us out. You can't even order a pizza. Domino's, Brian. It goes to the Philippines, and then you go pick up your pizza down the street. Yeah, it's been sold out.
Hey, listen, look, call centers, it's a business. I get it. It's cheating out a lot of Americans, but it's letting that business survive. Hey, thank you for the call. Got to take a quick one here. Ken Pittman is up after me, and I'm in on Wednesday for Barry. Wow, we got a lot going on. I mentioned it earlier. We're getting into the holiday season, and I will be in on Wednesday for Barry, and then I've got a slew of days coming up in December. Tomorrow, a little shakeup in the programming. Jim Phillips has Town Square Sunday starting at 6 a.m. And then he's back at 8 a.m. with Town Square Sunday. So 6 and 8 a.m. tomorrow. And then we've got the Patriots pregame coming away at 10 a.m. So big day of sports, 10 a.m., kickoff a little after 1. And then we've got 3 hours of the postgame. I'm a betting man, and I'm thinking that Miami is going to walk all over the Patriots. But, you got to play the game. That's when we will really find out. After me today, we've got Jose, and then directly after me, Ken Pittman. On that note, time for me to say adios, amigo. We will do it again Wednesday after